told you guys that I would come in for an unboxing video. So that's what we're doing. So I am going to first open up Sacred Traveler by Denise Linn. This deck is amazing. It was gifted to me, and then this past year I re-gifted many of my favorite decks to friends and family, and I re-gifted this deck. And after I re-gifted it, I was really happy that the people who have it now, they use it all the time, but I was pretty sad that I didn't have it. You're very intense right now over here. I'm just gonna let it waft that way. This deck. This deck is amazing if you are going through a journey. If you feel like you're kind of more on a mission, or you're looking for the direction that you're supposed to be headed in. It's obviously really helpful for people if they're literally traveling. We're just not really doing it as much right now, so I'm not using it for that at this moment. But a year ago when I was doing a lot of traveling, this deck was a daily companion for me. Oh my gosh. The booklet. The booklet is really nice. Ooh. Okay, let's open it. Let's open it. So, I will show you guys the cards, and then I'll do a little reading. It won't be too long, but we'll just start. So, answering the call, ascending the mountain, begin now, breaking trail, choose your path, cleansing waters. Oh, I love that card. Crossing bridges, desert passage. A lot of 2018 and 2019, this felt like my life. Discovering truth. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Distant thunder. It's kind of like a tower card into traditional tarot. Clear the air. Embracing enthusiasm. Oh, I love the butterflies. And her flower crown. Oh, faraway places. Fellow travelers. Finding sanctuary. First light. This card is one of my favorite cards in this deck. This card reminds me of my birthday, which is March 20th, the last day of winter, first day of spring. I was born right at the spring equinox. So just, fresh beginning a new cycle, new growth, fogged in. Gates of triumph, grace and gratitude, great adventure, grounding. Great card for this time of year. This is like Virgo energy to me. A little bit of the Empress. A little bit of the Empress energy there. Impasse. Roommates are going nuts. Infinite Abundance. I love this card too. I'll just picking the apples. In the Flow. Journey by Moonlight. Joy and Delight. Miracles. Mystic Healer. High Priestess. Narrow Pathway. Navigating by the Stars. Overcoming Obstacles. Passion and Pleasure. Protected by Angels. I always think of Archangel Michael. Rainbow Blessings. Reaching Your Destination. This reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. Rejuvenating Rain. I love all the water cards in this deck. They're really beautiful. Solitude. I like the owl there. A lot of wisdom. Staying Focused. Stepping into Power. I'm really sorry for the background noise. I hope it's not loud or annoying. It's kind of annoying me, but that's okay. Surrendering to the Journey. This is the card that's on the deck. So surrendering to the journey. Taking shelter. Transformation. The Death card. Traveling lightly. I like that he only has a lute or musical instrument on his back. Uncovering treasure. Unknown territory. Valiant courage. Vast vistas. Another one of my favorites. View from above. Voyage of the heart. Oh, that card. So mystical and beautiful. Yeah, wandering path. Wandering path. I haven't used this deck in a while. It's so nice to see it again. Watching clouds. Oh, this is a really great card. Two more. Let's see. Wise leader. And, yep, last card. Wondrous universe. Oh, isn't that a beautiful deck? Alright, let's break it in. Clearing this deck of all previous information. I don't think anyone's used this deck for readings yet, but clearing it from all previous readings as well. That is my main way of clearing decks, and I'll do that to every and any deck that I use when it's kind of a new day or a new energy or a new person that I'm working with. Always good to clear the deck. Then, especially when it's a brand new deck, but I do this when I'm called to now. I used to do it all the time. What you do is you actually spread the deck out. I didn't do that very well here. They're so crisp. Kind of, it gets easier. It gets easier as the deck breaks in, but just to give you a little example with a deck that's very easy for me to do it with. You just take it and kind of shuffle it open over the chest. It's just another way that you're touching every card and connecting to the deck and allowing the deck to connect to your heart and your highest good. So it's just another way of imprinting and putting your intention into the cards so that they meld with you and they work with you more easily. I'll give you one more shot. It's okay. I have just touched all of the cards. That's kind of the idea behind it, is putting your energy into the deck. And you do that by touching each card. So just in whatever way you feel inclined to do that when you're working with your own decks. The more that they get shuffled, though, the easier they'll work with you. They'll be more smooth as time goes on. Honestly, I have a ton of decks. Every single deck has a different energy with it. Like, they literally do have their own personalities and will communicate in their own ways. So that sounds nuts, but if you've been working with decks, you understand what I'm talking about. Some decks you use more for this area. Some decks you use more for this. Some decks really like to give readings on this topic, or some decks will take a very long time to give you the information because it wants you to feel it out more. Some decks are incredibly potent where, like, you can only pull one card because there's so much information and ritual with that card. So every single deck that you come across will be different. And every single deck is different for each reader as well. Just like we all read in completely different ways from one another, you'll never find a reader that is exactly like another reader. We all have our own ways of working and our own gifts that we're utilizing and sharing with you through this work. But you'll always find, don't be surprised if you come across decks that have kind of like different personalities. There's a bit of a surrendering, and there's a lot of trust and faith involved in doing any type of divination work. You have to be centered in yourself and trusting in your own energy and the higher power that you believe in to keep you safe, to give you information that is for your highest good, that's for benefit, that's true, that resonates. That was a little tangent there. Just for those of you who are learning how to deal with decks. Okay, this might be getting too long now. Okay. Let's pull some cards for the people. Let's pull some cards for the people. One more time. Shuffling. What is it that can be of greatest service to those that are seeing this now? Thank you for letting this message be clear and understandable. What is it that we need to know? Ooh, okay. Embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Oh! La, 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 la. Sing it. Sing it. Discovering truth. You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. I was gonna sing, you can call it another rainy day. And Distant Thunder came out, and with it, first light. beginning a new cycle. Oh, so first of all, just being enthusiastic about what you're calling in, what you're putting out there, what you're creating, what you're experiencing, what you're manifesting. Really embracing enthusiasm. So embracing the things that you're really grateful for, that you're really stoked on, that light you up, ways that you know you're contributing to the world or to others or to the environment or to some bigger cause outside of yourself, that also really lights you up. So what is it? Because you're discovering your truth about it, you are deciding to take a new route that is less followed. And that's really scary. Not only is it intimidating and scary, but when you begin to go down that path, you sometimes find that others are calling out to you saying, wait, you're going the wrong way. Where are you going? Like, no, go with us. Go this way. Go this, come with us. But if your inner truth is telling you to take a different route, follow it. It'll be hard. It always is difficult, blazing a new trail and being a pioneer and being a leader. But the best leaders really listen to their heart and their intuition, as well as the people, right? But if you have been thinking about going into a completely new path, it's all about trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your heart, trust in your dreams. Find out what your purpose is, what your path is meant to be. North Node. If any of you would like a North Node reading and want to know more about your personal natal chart and what it says about your life purpose and your life path, that's one of my biggest gifts that I love to give, is doing natal chart readings. So please, if you are inclined to work with me, you can get a single session. You can also join my membership, which is ongoing care. It's all remote. So we connect either like this through video, and I pre-record the reading for you. And then I send you the private link so that you can watch it anytime you want, as many times as you want, without having to hold on to the file somewhere. Because I post the readings for my clients on my YouTube channel, but privately. So it'll always be there for you, and you can always go back and watch it. When I look at the readings that I've done for my clients over the past few months that are on YouTube, they get viewed any thing from like 2 to 3 times to 18 to 20 times. I've seen some of the videos that I've sent to some of my clients like have tons of views, and they're private links. So that's awesome. That it makes me warm up and feel like this, feel so enthusiastic about sharing my gifts with you through card readings, through natal chart readings, and through holistic health coaching and consultations. I am a holistic health practitioner first and foremost. So anyway, I'll end that little spiel right there. But if you are interested in finding out more about like what is this path that you are meant to be taking, and what are some strengths that you might not even be aware that you have, I'm really good at finding strengths for people. We look at the truth of the whole chart too, and we find out some things that could cause confusion or challenges in your everyday just life. Some of us have birth charts that we're all incredibly unique and complex, and it is a passion of mine to read into this and then to translate it to you into clear ideas and options that you have to move into your light. Distant thunder. Well, what happens when we move into our light? Yeah, things get shaken up, right? But that's the beauty of it, because most likely if you are one of these lovely people watching right now that are like, I'm not living my truth, this job that I have, or this relationship that I have, or this, home that I'm living in, or community that I'm in, it no longer feels good or feels right or resonates. If you're having that calling that you need to be moving forward, well, when you choose to move forward, it can cause sometimes some ruffling. People around you, relationships, when you start to change, like genuine change from the inside. Let me get my coffee here, hold on. Get some coffee, people, if you haven't yet. It's over here. Oh man, I totally had coffee brain and just left. It's like stony brain, but coffee. I'm normally finished with my second cup way earlier in the day, so apparently I still need some coffee. But anyway, what happens when we do decide to go our own way is sometimes that can really upset others. And I hate saying it like that, and I don't mean to deter you from finding your truth. But it is very... Okay, this is literally what this is saying, and this is my point, because I do not mean to scare anybody. But in order to become that higher version that you see yourself as, if you see this higher version of yourself and you're here and you want to get there and you're getting closer and closer, right? But this version of you has this handled, has this under control, is really good at this part of their life, is balanced, all of these things that maybe you don't feel you are quite yet. But if you see that higher version of yourself, you see that vision, and you decide to start moving into that new version of yourself, well, clearly that's going to mean that you need to change some things. Usually it has to do with the people that you're spending time with, the places that you spend a lot of time in, and the activities or things that you do with your time. And so if you're wanting to change, those are the areas that come up immediately, right? You can change your diet, and that could only affect you. Oh, except for when you go out with friends and now you're not eating the same type of food, and they're like, wait, why aren't you eating that? Oh, I decided to go dairy free. And they're like, oh. There begins to be a disconnect. Take whatever example you can come up with. But when you start to embrace new parts of yourself, and then you find yourself in those same old places or with those groups of people, or you're doing the habits and the activities that you used to do that maybe you're deciding aren't as great for your health or well-being or time management or future or what have you. Well, the friendships that are really true and the people who are meant to be by your side through your new pathway, they'll become very clear to you, because the other close friends and family that you have in your life that can't go with you down that path, and they're not meant to. Maybe some other time they'll go down another path and you'll reconnect. Maybe some of them will actually later on be inspired to take the pathway that you took, but it's not the time yet. That can be really challenging, especially if you keep trying to go back and clear the air. If you keep having to go back to try to clear things up with people that, as you've been moving in a new path, there have been forks in the road and these other friendships have kind of splintered off, and maybe you're feeling that you're not accepted for this new role that you're taking on. These are all reality. Like, this is a potential. Just like, don't let yourself get too wrapped up in it. It's been a really difficult topic for me, especially this past year. I knew that I needed to release a lot of friendships and relationships, and so I began to do that. Pretty like hardcore, without communicating it. We're all in a journey here. We are all learning how to become these better versions of ourselves, and we're all learning new communication skills. And a lot of us are learning that we have maybe not had the best communication skills. So in order to get to this, because this is the outcome card here for all of us, if you are still with me 27 minutes in, it's a new cycle that's beginning. You have to allow the old energy, the old relationships, the old foods that you ate, or habits that were a part of your daily life. In order to release those, in order to bring in the new, we have to release them. So, in short, paraphrased, be fucking enthusiastic about your life and where you're going, because you are transforming. You're going through a metamorphosis right now. All that butterfly energy, you've gone through the caterpillar phase. You've been in that feeling of, I'm just kind of, what's happening to me? Oh, you're in the goo phase. You're in the cocoon. Caterpillar body is like disintegrating into goo and reforming into the body of a butterfly. Google it. It's a gnarly metamorphosis. Gnarly. So you've been going through that. And you're blooming now. You're fucking blooming. You've already gone through a huge transformation inside that's showing you've got so much more to offer. And maybe the path you've been going down is no longer your path. And now you have to go down this new pathway, and that's scary. And it means you're going to leave things behind. And that's exciting. And it might ruffle some feathers. It might even ruffle your own feathers. There might be parts of you that, as you take on these new characteristics, you start to feel badly about how you've been, or you start to feel angry at the old ways that you handled things, or you begin to feel guilty or shameful. Oh girl, oh boy, you need to drop that too. But know that if you start beating up on yourself in this journey, it's normal. You're learning, you're expanding. Release what doesn't serve you. And it has a lot to do with those negative mindsets and those stagnancies that are in your life. Gotta let the dead die away and release so that you can step into this new version of yourself, because you're stepping in. You already have begun. Now you just have to take the trust that you have in yourself and these new steps and move forward down your path. And don't be afraid, because you are in for such an amazing, exciting ride that's going to fill you up with faith. It is going to fill you up with love. It's going to fill you up with vitality. And what's the most beautiful part of all of that is, as you let go of what you need to let go of, you make space for these new, amazing, loving, exuberant, enthusiastic people to come into your life. Relationships, new parts of the world that you'll see, new parts of yourself that you'll see. You'll explore and discover beautiful things inside yourself, and you'll also explore and discover shadows in yourself, and blocks and blames and challenges that will come up. It's life. But what you get from it is like this new found warmth and growth and life that you are creating. Ooh! If you would like to book a session with me, I do distance healing. I work a lot around broken hearts. My heart has been broken a lot. I have learned so much self-love, so much self-worth and value, boundary setting. So if you are interested in a single session with me, again, so sorry it's so noisy out, but if you're interested in booking with me, send me a message at holisticandliving@gmail.com. I have a short little questionnaire that I'll send to you first so that you can fill that out, so that I have a better idea of where you're at and what you're interested in and how you'd like to work together, because I did mention that I have a membership space. And in that membership space, there are two options. So I have a pretty, like a quick intensive, which is a month membership. And we meet 3 weeks in a row through Zoom, and we work together around whatever you're wanting to work with. And that questionnaire that I send you will give you a better idea of all of the different options and tools that I work with. And then I also have a more, like a smooth, more gentle membership that is a 3-month membership, and we meet every other week through Zoom. Now, in both memberships, no matter if you do the month-long or the 3-month-long, you have access to the monthly Q&A. It's a group mentorship and coaching where we can talk about all things holistic health, all things spirituality, all things nutrition, physical health, 5-element theory, traditional Chinese medicine, astrology, foam rolling, acupuncture, acupressure. There's a lot that we can do. So feel free to reach out. Again, it's holisticandliving@gmail.com. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe if this has helped you. And I will see you guys soon.